Hey, real quick. So tomorrow is the first day of the volleyball tournament where dorms are going to be competing against each other, right? And I'm going to be representing the Sutherland dorm, obviously. So that's going to be really cool. Has nothing to do with this video, but I thought it was something cool to mention. So now what I actually want to talk about is the hackathon. So I've already talked about this before, but from September 28th to 29th, I'm going to be competing in a weekend-long hackathon. What's a hackathon? It's basically a competition where people come together, form teams, and basically get like a theme, and then you kind of create a technology, I think usually apps or any technology you really want towards that theme, right? Have like a problem you want to solve, and then you can win prizes and stuff. So I already have like a few people in mind who I am likely to work with. So I'm really excited about that. But the idea that I do think I want to do at least, or an idea that I think maybe something in the realm of this idea that I want to do is an app that I already talked about, is the app that essentially summarizes government bills. So the whole idea is that I think a lot of government bills and just stuff that actually happen in politics besides the controversial statements or who's running or who's running against who or the campaign itself gets blurred out. So the average Joe, right? Actually, that's an interesting name. The average Joe. I don't know the history of that. But the average Joe, I think, never really gets to see that bill line to line, never actually knows what the bill is. They only know what people say the bill is. So I think it would be really cool to have an app where these bills may are easily accessible. Like, oh, if I'm in Montgomery County and they pass a new bill, I want to read it. Or if they propose a new bill, I want to read it for myself. Should I support this bill? Should I not support this bill? Let me know for myself. And I think this could be revolutionary. Revolution is a buzzword. I don't use it. I do think it could be revolutionary in the sense that if this became more of a trend to push society in less of a where we see ourselves, right? Where we become more active in this whole political process, I do think it'll be awesome. I think there is a movement towards that, as there has been for a while. But the idea is that, as I said before, you have the bills. Basically, you ask because I believe most of them are accessible online, but there's not a centralized place, or there is, but it's not easily accessible, right? To people. So if you have an app, and another cool thing I'm thinking of is obviously implementing AI because you have to do that now. That's a joke, by the way. But I think AI could be really helpful in this sense, and this is where it gets tricky. Basically, it just summarizes the bill. And the tricky part about that is that AI is 100% reliable. So now imagine if you had an app that was focused for the government that had any form of misinformation, or I guess in this case, disinformation. Disinformation, I believe, is the one that's unintentional. Like, yeah, basically, it's not intentional, right? Misinformation is intentional. Then that's a really bad thing, obviously. So I do think it's something that's really cool. But one thing I do have to do is learn how to scrape data. I think I already have a good idea how to do that because I've been working with Azure and just the Python thing. Funny enough, the Codex thing actually, one of the training stuff to actually be able to post stuff on the Codex platform, you have to scrape data from somewhere, I think. So all those skills are coming back into play. Um, but yeah, I think it's something real cool. I do want to do a project that works with data, a project that maybe even the political landscape, I think. Because politics isn't just controversial statements or what's suddenly on the news. I think politics is something that affects everyone, like good and bad, and sometimes neutral. I think I would like a political world where it's more engaging and just less hateful in a sense. And it's hard to do. I don't think this app is going to obviously do that, but I think it helps in the sense that we have more nuanced discussions and we actually know we have more power in the way our government works. Because the funny thing, I think this is related to the app, but it's a larger sentiment I've had for a while now. Um, a lot of what goes on in the government is not just in the executive branch, right? You have the executive branch, you have the legislative branch, you have the judicial branch, right? So you have three branches of government. Really, I guess in more recent days, the judicial branches has also been in focus. But I think the legislative branch, especially in local communities, don't get a lot of focus, right? I don't think people actually pay attention to that as much as they should. So I do stuff. I think stuff like this would help. Even if like having the app give like notifications. Oh, this dude or this party is proposing this bill. Read it for yourself. I think it's something interesting. I like reading, right? I don't think reading is terrible. Um, And yeah, I think it'll be something cool. People could. I also know another offshoot of this could be like maybe someone uses this app or just finds a platform or just uses a social media account to basically create short form content on current bills being proposed in communities. I think could be really cool. I think there's a lot of stuff you could do with this. Even if we don't go with this government app in general, I do think it's something I want to work on in the future or for someone else to work on. But for now, I want to work on it because I think it's required. I really want to do it the way I want to do it. Um, but yeah, besides that, I have nothing else to say. I've been walking around a lot. I don't know why. Very excited for this hackathon. It's gonna be a weekend long. It's my first hackathon. Gonna be really cool to actually like build something and then put on my resume and have something built. I am worried though because I think I'm doubting how much. I don't know if I'm doubting. I'm thinking about how much experience I have from doing an end like a start to end project like that. Um, but luckily enough, this upcoming week, the Sky Public School of Computer Information is doing a coding challenge where you actually have to build something. So I'm probably just going to get an actual sense for how well I might do in the hackathon. But I don't think a hackathon is necessarily about winning, even though I want to win. It's really just about doing what you like, letting that passion loose, like getting an excuse to work on what you want to work on. But yeah, besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.